Hello, and welcome to Lumpia and Latkes. I'm Jay, a Filipino American,
And I'm Mitch, an American Jew. We are friends
and former coworkers.
who riff all day at work and decided to create this podcast for extended conversations on anything that intrigues us.
We won't always get it right, but we'll do what we can. Thanks for joining us. This episode, everyday security. Topic of the week is everyday security.
Every day.
Every day. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we take for granted when we're out there, out and about shopping, using different devices. You have to really be more secure about what you do. And what do we mean by
Absolutely.
that? So in our experience, in our jobs, we deal with card transactions. Not going to say to what extent, but we know things about cards. And cards as far as debit cards, credit cards, physical cards that you use to make
Yep.
payments.
That's
So
right.
when you're using your card, it's too easy to take that for granted. It's like because that card is linked to your bank account. If it's a debit card, it's linked to your bank account, and that has all your money. So you want to be really sure that what you're using that card for, you check for skimmers, overlays, pinhole cameras, and glue, basically some sort of attacks on these readers that pick up your card. What do we mean by skimmers? So skimmers is some sort of device that's attached to, say, a debit reader, a card reader
Uh,
at
you-
a Walmart,
At Walmart,
self
Target,
checkout, a Target,
Dollar Tree,
Dollar Tree,
Food Line,
the
you name it.
yeah, on an ATM machine, which is I hate that people say ATM machine because the M in machine is machine, but whatever. That's neither here
You
nor
said
there.
ATM machine there, Jay.
I know I did that because that's what people call it. It's
I
stupid.
call it an ATM.
I know I call it ATM, but I know there's a lot of people. You know who you are out there. You call it a stupid ass ATM machine, but
Yeah,
we're
you
not
stupid ass
coming.
ATM machine people.
Right. Well, we'll get that's definitely something. But we'll get into all that. I don't want people to turn this off and say like that guy's just a dick, which I am, but I'm not David. He's already said that he's a dick. He's already claimed that title. But anyway, um, going on. So the skimmer is a device that's attached to that card reader, and it usually tries to read off your magnetic stripe on your card. So your card has three different ways that it can be used to make payments. You have
Yep.
the tap to pay,
Yep.
you have a secure chip. It's a little computer chip, almost looks like a SIM card type thing that's on the card, and you have a magnetic stripe. The magnetic stripe is the oldest existing form of payment on a card. It's as
And
old. Yes, go ahead.
and how terrible is it, Jay?
It is extremely terrible because it's the most hacked thing in the world because of the fact that it's
That's right.
so unsecure. It is as old as VHS cassette tapes.
Yeah, it's old
old
ass.
as
No, it's beta, buddy. It's
yeah, it's
beta.
beta. It's beta.
Mag
You are
Stripes, the
still
Mag
using
Stripes
it.
came out in the 70s, I
That's
believe
right.
it was. And they did was just store your basic card information.
Yep.
Well, guess what? There is no security
Right. It is
whatsoever on that Mag
unencrypted.
Stripe. Yep,
That's right.
nothing whatsoever. So in all fairness, those things should be gone. They
They should
shouldn't
be
even be
gone.
on the cards anymore.
Yep. I
Some
mean, at this
companies
point,
are,
yes.
most some companies still are keeping them
Yep.
on there a good
Right.
amount, but there are some that are not. They're starting to
Yep.
get rid of them,
That's
which I
right.
applaud them for that. But
Absolutely.
until all of society can get past the mag stripe
Right.
era, if you will, we'll never
hmm
move on from it fully.
100%. 100%. And the reason why they keep using the mag stripe, even though it's so insecure, is because it's the cheapest to use.
It's so cheap.
So cheap. But then again, you can use, I mean, the NFC, which stands for near field communication. That's your tap
That's
to
correct.
pay.
Hmm.
You can do that at home you can do that anywhere with just your cell phone. I mean, your smartphone has an NFC built into it. You
That's
can make your own
correct.
NFC tags, these things, which is an issue in and of itself. They have this
That's
thing called
right.
I think it's called a flipper, that
Yep.
thing that you can use to just scan someone's card, which is
Yep.
why we also had to have something called RFID blocking technology.
Yep.
You need to have either those protective sleeves that come with your cards from the bank, usually if it's a good bank, or you need to have a
A
wallet that
wallet.
is fully RFID blocking. Now
Yep.
they'll have some of these you have to really kind of vet them because anybody could say anything on the internet. Anybody could say anything on on a product posting. But
Yes, they can. And I'm proof in the pudding on that one, Jay, because I thought I
mm,
bought an RFID wallet.
hmm
I did not.
right. See, that's you got to be careful. You got to choose from reputable brands. You have to look up the if there's a consumer products review, if there's reviews online on Amazon, make sure and check. Try and get some sort of um, assurance that what you're buying is what you're buying,
Yep,
especially when it comes to trying to protect your card.
absolutely.
Um, all right, what
Now,
else do we have?
now,
Oh,
well, we're talking about skimmers, but what are skimmers? Okay, well, skimmers are
yeah.
basically devices, if you will.
Hmm.
They're mainly focused on the mag stripe readers,
Right.
um, but it's basically a way of reading that mag stripe and storing that information. Well, of course, if you read the mag stripe, well, how are you going to be able to store said information? Well, they've created what is basically for, especially for the places of Walmart and Target and stuff like that, they've created what they've called these overlays that basically look identical to the card reader that you're looking at. It's just
Hmm.
basically a piece of plastic that's identical to what you see, and it's overlaid over top of it. So that way, when you go swipe the card, it will capture that information, and then you put in your PIN number, it will capture your PIN number as well.
Right.
And again, that's how they get away with it. But they don't get away with it, as far as we know, with the chip. The chip so far, I don't think they've gotten very far as far as technology goes with that. At least we
Right.
haven't seen it.
Right. We haven't seen it personally in this in the area that we work in,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
sure it is being worked on because these criminals, these thieves that use this technology, they're usually probably
Well,
two steps ahead.
NFC is also one that's turning becoming questionable as well because people are also just using. I mean, because come on, cell phones are everywhere, and you don't
Right.
have to have a cell phone program just to be a cell phone. You can program a cell phone. It is in itself a computer. You can
Right.
program it to do whatever you want. You basically got yourself a mobile computer.
Yes.
Well, because of the tap to pay NFC setup with your phone, someone could potentially, if it's within a certain range, could put a phone or a device next to that card reader, which could
Right.
potentially get the information off of your cell phone and get
That's
your account
correct.
info. That is certainly a possibility.
That's
I'm not
absolutely
saying that
correct.
we've seen that happen. I've not really seen that happen before,
Right.
but it is possible. It is there. So,
Right.
be careful as far as that goes.
Traditionally, what we've seen is um, these overlays
Yep.
have that method of reading your mag stripe, reading your magnetic stripe on your card,
Yep.
and it saves it. Usually, it saves it to some sort of SD card or relays it to the scammer, the criminal that's somewhere nearby where they can receive that data to a laptop, to another phone. These things have SIM cards, which are cellular transference of data from that skimmer to them.
Or it could be
Sometimes
stored or could be stored on the device
could be
itself.
stored by yes
Yep.
by
Yep,
the SD card. Right,
because because an SD card or a mini or micro SD cards, because those
right.
micro SD cards, we all know them and see them ourselves. They're
Hmm.
so daggone tiny. All you need is a little port to pop it in there, and computer chips are so small these days.
That's
You could
right.
just program it for just something very basic, very
Right.
simple to just gather ones and zeros
Hmm.
and gather it at certain intervals, which
Right.
then create your bank info,
Yep.
and they can go ahead and do it. And
That's
it's
correct.
it's no fun, man.
It's not fun. You don't want to. That's the other thing, is that something that I want to get into too. Is that you want to, if at all possible. I know it's a little difficult sometimes depending on how you spend, but
Yep.
you want to use a credit card over a debit card. Why? Because the credit card, as put by, um, I think it's Frank Abagnale of Catch Me If You Can, that kind of fame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says famously. The credit card, you're playing with the bank's money. The debit
Yep.
card, they're playing with your money. You
Yep.
want them to play with the bank's money because that stuff is protected, it's insured. Your money
Yep.
is too, but it's just a lot more difficult to get your money back versus the bank just getting theirs.
It's just it's a teach mentality in all fairness, Jay. You just got,
Yeah,
I mean, and plus there are some people out there that just don't have the cards
that's true too.
because their credit's just not so good and they're just
Right,
living the way that they are. I
right.
mean, but hey, if you have the opportunity, your best
Hmm.
option is to certainly try and use a credit card for everything that you purchase. That's
Right.
something that I'm trying to get my wife to switch over to because we're in a position now where we can do that. We can go
Hmm.
ahead and say, okay, we're going to put everything on the card, but as soon as we charge it, we're just paying the credit card directly at that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm given, five, six payments a month, but whatever. I don't care. It don't bother me none. Just as long
Hmm.
as we make the payment, that's all that matters. So
Hmm.
as long as my
Um,
balance is as low as possible, that's all I care about.
yes, absolutely. And that's the other thing too. This is more outside of the everyday security. But if you are using a credit card, make sure you make your payments. You don't want to ever be on default on the credit card because they'll get you.
Yeah, it's
Um,
nasty,
it's
especially American
nasty.
Express.
Oh yeah. I mean, any credit card company because they charge those APRs. But anyway,
Yep.
let's go back to the point at hand. So,
Yes.
um, the thing that we're most familiar with are ATM transactions, right? So
Yep.
ATM transactions, we deal with it with due to work in our company.
Yep.
Um, these skimmers, right? You can, when you go to an ATM, when you're going to use an ATM, make sure that you are checking before you just stick your card in. Too many people, we see it all the time, just blindly stick their card in the reader and expect it to work. You
Yep.
don't want to do that. You want to
Nope.
make sure that when you go up to a ATM, you pull on what they call the bezel. It's the plastic part that your card actually goes into. It's the
Unless it's
slot.
bezel-less. Unless it's
Unless it's
bezel-less.
bezel-less, but most still have bezels, something that you can pull
Yep.
on. If
It's a
it's
piece that
coming
kind of
apart,
protrudes. It
it's a piece
protrudes
that
out a little bit.
protrudes. It's some sort of, yeah, some
Basically
sort
where
of
you put your
plastic.
card in.
Right, it's the slot, basically. If something is moving around on that just doesn't feel right, you'll know when you
Yep.
pull on it. It
That's
should be
right.
structurally sound. Nothing
Yeah.
should move. If
Yeah.
something moves, you have a problem. Don't
Yep.
use it. Or at
Yep.
least there's a potential problem.
Yep.
Just move on. The other thing is, as I
Take
said,
a look at
these.
take a look at the screen before you put your card in,
That's
people.
for sure. That's for
Take a
sure.
look at your screen before you ever put the card in. Take a look at the screen.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times people just drive right up and stick their card in blindly, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh, geez, the ATM's out of service.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we're servicing it. We're behind it or whatever, and we're servicing that bad boy. Whatever.
Yep.
People just don't want to read. So,
People don't want to read.
so guys, just read. That's all you got to do. Anyways, that's my pet peeve. Let's move on.
Yep. That's 100% accurate though. But these criminals, if they are in the vicinity to monitor the
Yep.
the machine,
Yep.
that's the thing. You need to be aware. You need to have always have your head on the swivel, see who's around. If there's a vehicle that's parked somewhere odd to you, then you might want to suspect that something strange is going on. But we're not saying that you have to walk around life as a bubble boy and think everything is awful, but you should have awareness. Which is why we're trying to get this out
Yep.
there with
Absolutely.
this topic of everyday security.
Absolutely, because 4th of July is coming
Yep.
and every holiday is coming up soon. And I'll tell you what, man, especially beginning of the summertime, people are out there to make money
Yep.
and they will do some shady shit.
Yep.
And this is one of them, putting a
Yep.
skimmer inside of there. And I got to be honest with y'all, you really don't know if there's a skimmer inside.
It's
Okay.
true.
The average Joe is not going to know if there's a skimmer inside.
Right.
So the chances of it happening are honestly usually slim to none. But
Hmm.
yeah, that we've been around
Yeah.
in this business long enough
Yeah.
that we've seen our fair share. And I'm not pointing out
Yep.
customers or things like that,
No.
but Jay has had his fair share of finding skimmers himself.
Yes. They
Um,
call me the skimmer sniffer
that's right.
in
He's the
our in
skimmer
our
sniffer.
position because I
But
found quite a few things.
I will say it's been a year and a half, if
Mm.
not longer, since you found a skimmer.
The last time I found this skimmer was probably right before our company split.
So it's been almost a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
but that's not to
It's
say
a
that
great
they
thing.
aren't out there. Just because I haven't found them
Right.
doesn't mean they don't
Right.
exist.
Absolutely. But for the most part, since you're the skimmer sniffer for the
Right,
area, hey, man,
right,
you haven't found a whole lot of them.
right.
So, yeah, it's quite all right.
Yep. And the other thing too is that when they use these skimmers, these or these overlays, they like to use pinhole cameras Because what good is having a card? They can do stuff with your card, make no doubt about it. But what they also want is your PIN number. So they'll have some sort of camera somewhere, sometimes. Well, they like to say almost all the time, but I don't. I've not always found pinhole cameras. But these are tiny little cameras that are somewhere on the ATM or in the vicinity that are directed down towards the PIN pad, the part that you type in your PIN on,
Right.
and they will use those uh, those cameras to watch you type in your PIN. So that way they have both your card number and they have your PIN, and then they can just take your card number, duplicate it on a on a what would you call it? Just another card, just
Another card. Yeah,
another plastic.
they got
Yeah,
another credit card and they can go
right,
ahead and spoof or fake
right,
that information on there just so it'll show, oh,
right.
that's what this account's this that
Exactly.
the account number's on here and he's got
Yep,
your PIN number and guess what? He
yep.
empties out your bank.
That's right. He goes online and empties out your bank somewhere, or he goes to another ATM and uses his card that he just made and empties out your bank. It is
Yep,
what it is.
it can happen.
Yep. And the other thing that I've found has been strange, glue, which we've seen this with
Yeah.
there's been news stories of glue. One in particular, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about them, but
Nope.
there was the chase. There wasn't here. It wasn't anywhere that we know of, but it was a news article that was out there. Chase Bank had an issue where glue was being used to tape over or like glue up
The
the
card
card
reader.
reader,
Hmm.
so that way they would force people to use the tap to pay. And the thing
Yep.
is about their tap to pay in their software is that even though you use the tap to pay, unless you hit the exit button, your card
It
would still
still
be
stays
stuck
in.
on
Yep.
there. And that way, the next person, whoever told you, like, oh, that card reader's not working,
Yep.
use a tap to pay. They'll wait until you're done. They'll go right back up and then take money out of your account.
Yep.
By the time
Because
you
you
realize it, they're gone.
Yep, because you don't realize that their software is slightly different when you
Correct.
utilize the NFC reader
Right.
or the tap to pay option, if you will.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Um, that's why it's important to have your mobile app. They have I think every bank has a mobile application, something for your smartphone, a smartphone application that
hmm
allows you to log in and get alerts when this
Yep.
stuff is happening,
Or you can lock your card up.
or lock your card.
Yep.
That's why, case in point, Cash App.
Yep.
Cash App has fantastic features for security.
Yep.
It has other issues as well, but
Yes, it does.
Cash App certainly does try to make it more security friendly as far as trying to make sure that you're aware of where your money's going, when it's coming in, and how you can take charge of your account and your card, which
I
is
agree.
great. That's a fantastic thing.
Hmm.
Before we move on from cards, do you have anything else about cards?
Just, be careful, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really the biggest thing I got to say. I mean, look, it is just as dangerous for you to use your personal card, just as dangerous as it is to pay cash nowadays. Even that's dangerous
Right.
too, a lot of times. And lots of places aren't accepting cash, which really sucks, but whatever. I mean, we as consumers have been added, they added us to the whole freaking thing with COVID, and now we're paying for the restaurants' credit card fees
Mm-hmm.
or Walmart's credit card fees or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, maybe it is cheaper paying cash, but just got to be careful, man. I mean, the gas pumps, if it doesn't look right, if the car,
Yep.
if you go to slide your card in and it just doesn't feel quite right, you get some resistance, stop what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing and take that card out. All
Yep.
right, just take
And
that
probably
card out.
also alert someone. Like
Yeah,
let someone know at the gas station. They
yeah,
might not do anything. I mean, they
nope,
might be busy doing something, but at least you'll have told someone and made them aware.
yep. You get
That
peace
way,
of
if something
mind.
does happen, at least it's not on your conscience that you didn't tell
Yep,
someone.
yep. And don't anticipate that just because if you think there is one there, don't think the whole place is like that. More than
That's
likely,
true.
it's not.
That's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
they typically only, these guys when they come in, they typically only do usually. I mean, if they're lucky, like
Yeah.
three or four,
Right.
if they're lucky, if they're lucky.
Case in point, it's not for a gas pump, but for a Walmart location.
Hmm.
I found a skimmer that was on
Yep.
one of their card readers
Yep.
on a regular register. It was a register that wasn't really being used,
Nope.
but it was definitely on there, and I alerted the local police that was inside the
You did.
Walmart, as well as as well as the management that was on duty,
That's right.
and they have their front end managers called. At the time, they were called customer service managers (CSMs). I don't know what they called them now, but either way. I showed them
Yep.
that, and then we did a walk around for all of the debit readers. It was
Yep.
the
You
way I
sure
was able to
did.
tell. The way I was able to tell in this case was that this debit reader had a broken corner piece, like the
Hmm.
corner of the debit reader, like where the pin pad is, was broken. You could see through it. I thought that was a little strange because these things shouldn't be that hollow and that breakable.
Right.
At
Right.
that point, I was looking at it, and then I looked through the hole, and I could see the components of what you would see for a skimmer, which
Hmm.
is the part that would read your card and the part that would store your card information, and like a little mini battery to keep this information still stored on that card. Because without,
Right.
you know, you have to have some sort of method of power. Because they can't usually they don't tap into the power of the debit reader itself. It has its own self-sustaining power. So after looking at that, and also looking at how long the debit reader was, because comparing it to another one,
Yep.
it was much longer by like maybe an inch. I was like, this seems strange. So at that point, I knew what was going on, and that's when I pulled it off. And we checked all the other readers, including the one in the gas station. Didn't find any other
Nope.
skimmers, thank God.
Yep.
But yeah, just case in point, that was only one debit reader in that whole facility, and they
Yep.
must have had like at least 30 odd registers, if
Yeah, exactly.
if that. So yeah, just because you have it on one doesn't mean it's on all of them.
That's right.
So you talk about gas pumps, right? So
Yep.
I think at the gas pump you should always lock your vehicle. When you get out to pump your gas, lock your vehicle because it's not uncommon that, especially for women, that they leave their purses
Right.
in the passenger seat.
Right.
When you do that and you get out of your vehicle and you start pumping your gas, you don't lock it. Some ne'er do wells, they've done it before. They open
Yep.
up the passenger door, steal your purse, off they drive, and your stuff's gone.
That's right.
Goes your ID, your
I've
cards,
told
all
my
that.
wife to do the same thing.
Right.
I said, every time you go to pump gas, you need to lock the door.
You need to
Why?
lock it.
I said, where's your purse? Oh,
Yeah, exactly. You don't want someone just going through your vehicle like that. And
yep.
also, if you're pumping your gas, again, it's that whole thing of keep your head on the swivel. Always do that. Always have your head on the swivel because you don't know these people. You don't have, again, I'm really not trying to make this into a whole thing of like, don't trust anything. Don't even, that's not what this
But
is
you
about.
are.
Yeah, that's not what this is about. This is
No,
just
no,
trying to
no,
get
no, no.
awareness so because people do kind of walk around with blinders on. We know
A lot
this.
of times, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a shame, and that's
It,
why we're just trying to
well, it's
bring.
just a matter of they're not exposed to it like you
Yep,
and I have been. So since
right,
we've been exposed to it more, we're very more conscientious of things that surround us and stuff.
correct.
So
Yeah.
we have a better perception in this arena. But guess
Hmm.
what? I'm sure everybody's got their own little peccadillos that are they're
Hmm.
better at than we are.
Correct. Correct. And then we're talking about vehicles. Check your vehicle before you get in. Walk around. You're supposed to do a full walk around. That's what they tell you, I think, at the DMV still when you're doing your
Yep.
all your training and all that stuff. You're learning that you need to walk around your vehicle, check for anything. There's been a common scam, or not scam, criminality of people tying things to your door handles, especially your women, because that's to track you for human trafficking. That's a real thing.
Yes, it is.
It's a real
It's
thing, and it's
scary to
unfortunate.
think,
It's
but yes.
scary.
Yep.
If you see anything tied to your door handle, well, what would be the right course of action? I wouldn't take it off. I'll probably
Contact
drive,
911.
yeah, and then contact 911, and then as soon as you're driving, probably drive to a police station.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best course of action.
Yeah, I agree.
And also something that, oh man, it used to be more prevalent. I think it is still a thing too. There are all these cases of AirTag stalkers. You heard of this?
No.
AirTag stalkers. So right. So what they do is usually I've seen a bunch where it's been some deranged boyfriend, right, who
Really?
takes an AirTag because AirTags don't necessarily have the greatest security, and
Right, right,
they
right.
just throw it into to the girl's vehicle. That way they can track her wherever she goes and find her
Wow.
later and do unspeakable things.
That's
So
insane.
it's real stuff. I'm not sure what you can really do about AirTags because
Yeah.
I mean, I guess can you detect an AirTag with your iPhone that's already paired to someone else's?
I have no idea. I'm not an
I'm not
iPhone
really
guy.
sure.
I don't like fruit phones.
So unfortunately, I can't really tell you anything what to do with AirTags because I don't know. But I just want to make people aware that that is a thing because I didn't know until I started seeing all these articles. So it hasn't been really
Right.
in the news as much recently, but certainly
It had been in the news.
2022, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Hmm.
had been a real thing, and people had died from AirTag stalking. Again, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you on that one. You'll have to look that up. I didn't want to I don't want to burst your bubble and just like, we're not experts. We don't have we don't have advice for everything, but
I
we just
don't
want to
have
make
all
people
the
aware. I
answers.
don't have
I
all the
just
answers.
I just want to make fun of shit.
Yeah, I know, right? This is a very serious episode on
No,
this
no,
very
it's good.
special Olympian Lattes. Right. But, again, we're just trying to make sure people know. That's all.
That's right.
Um,
No.
and last thing that we need to talk about is social engineering. So, what is
Okay.
social engineering, Mitch? Give them a little bit about what that is.
Social engineering is like your emails or the
Hmm.
phishing and the
Right.
phone calls and the text
Right.
messages and all those
Right.
freaking people. I used to
Yeah.
love getting those phone calls from Windows telling me that my computer has a virus
Hmm.
on it. I used to keep them on the phone for as long as possible. It used to
Right.
piss my wife off all the time.
Hmm.
And then now, of course, the latest one is, let's see, we had one saying our Easy Pass was
Oh,
expiring and we
yeah.
get a fine, we got to pay that fine or
Hmm.
whatever it is. That was one of the latest ones that happened.
Right.
Gosh, I don't know. What's the other one? Oh, your Verizon bill is due. Oh, wait a minute, my Verizon bill is due.
Oh, good
Those
old
fuckers.
Verizon. I love
Fucking
them.
Verizon, man. They always text me every month saying my bill is due. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. I paid it. Nope.
Yep. But more to the point, right? I mean, that's all good stuff too. But social engineering in and of itself
Yes.
is when a criminal poses as some sort of, usually some sort of official body of like government or
The
some sort of
IRS,
company,
the
right? And
FBI.
yeah, or just, the power company, who knows, all that kind of stuff. And they try and make themselves seem official so they can get your information. They want to social engineer, which means they just want to con you out of your information so they
Oh,
can
yeah.
use to whatever nefarious deeds they want to do. They want to get your social security number, they want to get your credit card number, they want to get your age, address, all that very sensitive, personally
So,
identifiable stuff. They
So do
want to
we have
use.
enough time for me to say my two stories that I've got involving
Yes,
that kind of crap?
absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. So one, and this was probably about 10 years ago, my stepdad called me up. He had just got himself a new computer, a Lenovo, all in one. It was just a monitor. He was all excited about it. And he says, man, I'll tell you what, this service is great. He's like, I was like, so what's going on? He's like, man, I started, getting on the internet. Next thing you know, it popped up and said there was a virus and to call this number. Well, I called the number and for $200, they took care of my virus for free. I was like, wait a minute,
Mm,
you
mm,
paid
mm,
$200 and you just said free. Yeah, but isn't that great? Now they're going to take care of it for the rest of the year. And I'm thinking, um, okay, what was the name of the company? No brand that I could think of, like Semantic
mm-hmm.
or Net was it Net Zero? I think it was,
Net zero. Okay,
or
sure.
whatever antivirus software.
Hmm.
AVG, AVG is
Okay,
where I was
yeah.
thinking. I'm not Net Zero. Sorry, Net
It
Zero
wasn't
is
net
not.
zero like an
No.
internet provider.
No, it wasn't an internet provider. It was literally like it was a scam. He got scammed for 200
Yeah, right.
bucks. Long story
Yeah,
short, because
right.
I went over there the next day and I'm like, "What is this that you downloaded here?" And as soon as it was downloaded, I'm like, "Okay." And I downloaded AVG, and voila, it detected that freaking program as a virus and
Mm-hmm.
deleted it. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
turned it off and never turned it back on again. And to this
Mm-hmm.
day, it is still sitting right where he left it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how crazy that was. Number two, my uncle down in Georgia got either a phone call or a text message from his grandson. And like the grandson that's always doing well, doesn't have any issues, is perfectly fine, and is very smart and good kid all around. Somehow a text message went to my uncle basically saying that his grandson was in trouble and he needed some money and I think it was through a phone call now that I'm thinking about it. And so he was like, okay, fine. Well, there were certain conditions for him to give the money. He had to buy a specific magazine. He had to then get like a certain, I think it was a few $1,000s in cash and put
Oh.
so much money in this page, so much money on this in this page of the magazine, so much money in this page of the magazine, and put it in their FedEx and pay for it and ship it to this particular address. And it would save him because he needed bail money or something crazy like that.
Huh.
My uncle shipped it out and then told his son and daughter, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! What did you do?" And they're
Yeah.
like, no, your grandson's perfectly fine. I just spoke with him earlier. He never called you."
Oh boy.
They got in touch with the sheriff, and the sheriff went to the FedEx and got him his envelope.
Thank God.
Yep,
Jesus.
but it went that far.
Oof.
It went all the way that far. Isn't that
Mm.
crazy?
Craziness, man. The lengths, basically what we're getting at here for all this. What one thing we want to take away with is that you want to take away from all this is that criminals don't care about you. They only care about themselves.
That's
And they're
right.
willing to do whatever they can do to
That's right.
try and make it to where they can get what they want, which is usually money and information and power.
That's right.
So make it difficult for them to do that. Use everyday security. Do what you can to make sure that you are staying safe, that you're keeping your information, your family's financial situation stable and secure, as stable as it can be. Don't
And if
give
that
them
doesn't
that
work,
window.
buy a
Yeah,
shotgun.
that's right. Buy a shotgun. That's right.
Protect your
That's
family
right.
the right way with a
That's right.
shotgun.
In my house, we don't call 911. Oh, grandma's having a heart attack. Oh, sorry, grandma. That's mean.
Wow.
That's
Wow,
mean.
that's mean,
That's
but
mean.
so funny at the same
It's
time.
funny. I saw that on some sort of meme, like, because, you see those,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that, I'm not anti-gun. I think guns are helpful. Guns are a useful tool. But the people that go around and put those signs up there to say, like, we don't call 911 around here. It's like, all right, well, what about someone's having a medical emergency? I'm like, that's the stupidest sign I've ever seen. I get the sentimentality, but it's just, you really didn't think that one through when you decided to
I
hang that
get
up.
it. I get it. I
That's
understand what
all.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And one last thing, we got a little bit more time.
Okay.
You touched on computers, right? So there's
Yes.
certain software that you should have installed. You should have an antivirus. I, in particular, use something called Komodo antivirus. It's a
Yep.
pretty good antivirus. It's free. Don't pay for antivirus. I mean, you can, but there are plenty of free ones. Even the basic Microsoft Defender, Windows Defender?
I'm using Defender. I
Yeah,
use
perfectly fine.
CCleaner, and I use Malwarebytes.
Right, Malwarebytes is a huge one. Malwarebytes
Okay.
will get you out of some sticky situations.
Yep. Yep.
Malwarebytes is it's a non-profit organization, I believe,
I believe
that
so.
yeah, they keep a database. It's just a whole repository of like all these different signatures, his digital signatures, identifiers basically of all this different kind of malware. Malware is criminal software, right? Basically.
Yep.
It's exploits that can be on your computer to try and get your information. And what Malwarebytes does is it's a program that will scan for these signatures of these pieces of malware, this criminal software, find them and then delete them.
Yep.
As soon as you tell it to delete it. And it's a very useful thing. It's free. Download it. Everyone should have it on their computer. Some sort of antivirus. Have it on your computer. What else? I'm not sure. Is there something I use that I think you've used it before too? Advanced System Care, or it used to be called Windows
Yep.
System Care.
Yep. Yep.
That's by a company called IOBIT. You can find it
Yep. That one's not bad.
IOBIT.com. That's a pretty good one.
Yep.
It does a lot of good stuff. And of course, always keep your computer updated. Run computer updates. Have it set up for automatic updates for your Windows computer or
hmm
whatever computer you have. If you have Apple, I don't know. Does Apple need you to actually interact with it for
Apple
updates?
needs to do updates too. Yes. Apple
Okay,
has their
but
own
it
has
doesn't.
their own
It
slew of issues
doesn't.
like anybody else.
Right, but if you have, but that's one thing. Though. If you do have an Apple computer, you're less likely to get viruses because of the fact that most of the world is still heavily dependent on Windows computers, which is crazy. But that's just
Yep.
where we are. That's where the
Yep.
market is. It's amazing that we got past the whole concept of, even though they still use it, Microsoft Office. Now they got Office 365, but
Oh.
these days you got Google. Google has their own version of.
Yep.
But that's besides the point. But either way,
It is.
I think it's about all the time we have for this topic. We've said a lot of things. Hopefully, someone took something away from this. I think the people
I
that
know
we
I did.
yeah. I think the people that we've worked with though probably wouldn't, because hey, if you're listening to this, you probably already know. You do it every day.
That's right.
But this is for the other people, because there are people listening. We have someone from I mean, I've said it before. Said it before to you. We have someone that
Yes,
listens from France, someone that listens from
that's right.
Russia.
That's right.
So if you can
And I
take
hope
something
they're
away
still
from this,
listening. I
I
hope
hope
they're
so
still
too.
listening.
We
Yep,
appreciate your support.
that's right.
We love it. We appreciate you. We
That's
love
right.
you.
And we're not asking for donations,
We're not asking
but
for anything. We're just trying to put
please
it out there. We're just
try our
trying to get.
podcast.
That's right. Just listen to us. That's all. That's enough. We're
That's
not
it.
even getting paid by this. We're just doing this pro bono. We're just
Wait a
doing
minute, you're
this
not
because we
paying
want to.
me? You're not
I'm
fucking
not.
paying? Oh my
I'm not
God. All right,
paying
that's
you.
it. I'm off.
No.
I'm out of here. Screw
What?
this. I'm done.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
come on. Quitters quit. Quitters quit. Anyway. Anyway, okay. So that's all the time we got for this topic. Another very good one. I liked
That's
it.
right. And this
And
next one, after this, we're gonna do
now you forgot. Would you rather?
Would You Rather. There you
That's
go. It was
right.
on the tip
See?
of my tongue. It was
See?
on the
It's going
tip of
back
my
and forth.
tongue.
See? Back and forth. We're
Oh
gonna
man.
forget. We're both gonna forget what the last thing is.
Who
This you
are
call
you?
news.
Who
Anyway,
are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
Where are
Back
my
in my
teeth?
day.
Where are my teeth?
I may have Alzheimer's, but at least I don't have Alzheimer's.
That's
Anyway,
right.
all right. We'll be right back. Uh,
Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Whap.
Would you rather? While browsing through a bookstore in Williamsburg, I found a coffee table book filled with outrageous hypotheticals. This led to buying more Would You Rather books, and in this episode, we explore Would You Rather Extra Extremely Extreme by Justin Heimberg and David Gomberg. Okay, so would you rather sneeze the sound of thunder or pee pure energy? Hmm.
Wow, they're both winners to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do both. That's what I think.
You both? Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, sneeze the sound of thunder. Man, it's just sound. If you pee pure energy, I mean, I think that's like a superpower. That's a real superpower, and you can get some shit done. You can,
Charge your cell phone.
yeah, charge your cell phone, thwart bad guys. I mean, it'd be more powerful than an actual bullet because you're
Yeah,
peeing
but
pure energy.
what if you've got prostate issues though?
Well, I don't, but
Yeah, I know
we're
you
talking about
don't, but
us.
I'm just saying in general. I mean, come on, if you can
Yeah,
pee pure energy, but you got prostate issues,
yeah.
man, you're just Captain Sparkles then.
Well, that's bad for those people that have those problems, but I don't. Do you? I don't
No,
think you do either. So we're
no.
talking about us. So
All right,
I
fair
don't know.
enough.
Pure energy or sneeze thunder, but it's just the sound of thunder, which I
I
guess
think
can be
I would.
loud.
Yeah. I think I would just rather sneeze thunder than
Yeah,
pee pure energy.
I would pee pure energy because
I'm sure you
it'd be
would.
nifty.
Yep.
It would be
Yep.
nifty. Oh,
Because I'll tell you, I don't necessarily have to sneeze as much as I have to pee.
that's true too.
Yeah.
But it'd be a cool party trick. Look what I can do.
Lighting from my hands.
That's right. I'm the literal light of your life because look,
That's right.
I pee pure energy. Great.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. Would you rather get to be a guest judge on American Idol or get to force one of your friends to go on it?
I'd say force one of my friends to go on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not a big American Idol kind of fan
I'm
myself. I've
not
never
either.
really watched it that much.
No.
So yeah, I'd force you to get on there.
Huh.
You'd have to
Uh,
sing.
I mean, I would. I
I know
mean,
you would.
of course. I actually at some point I don't think not even my family knew. I put in an application back when American Idol, not American Idol, crap. America's Got Talent
America's
was
Got
coming
Talent.
around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were at Norfolk and they were
Oh
doing
yeah.
all those the pre auditions, right?
And
So
did you fill it out?
I filled it out and they called me back and said like, hey, we're ready for your audition, and then I just ignored it because I was like, I got too chicken shit to do it. So
Aw,
you know,
Jay.
is what it is.
Yep, it is
Is
what it
what it
is at this
is.
point, buddy. All
There's
right.
an
Well,
there's another thing too that reminds me of is that when at some point I've told you before, like I used to do karaoke events for
right,
CHKG
right,
Children's
right, right,
Hospital, and I was over at Walmart, right?
right.
So those would usually go pretty well and make a decent amount of money, like 100, $200 for
Okay.
CHKD over whatever it was.
Okay.
At some point, I was told this by my friends. There was someone who asked about me specifically, said, "Where's that guy who was singing last time?" Apparently,
Wow.
it's some dude who was with a record company in Tennessee or something.
No
And he went.
way.
That's what they told me. I don't know if they're pulling my leg or not, but they said instead of doing what I would think they would do, they went ahead and said, "Oh, he's not working today," but they didn't try and give him my contact information, nothing. So I don't know what happened to that
Wow.
guy, but
Well,
it
that
was enough.
sucks.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'll never know what happened with that,
Yep.
But
And
yeah, it's what it
I
is.
got shitty friends.
Uh,
No.
they just made one bad decision. That's all.
I know, right? And you didn't get his info? Oh my God.
No, they
I'd
didn't
be
get his
like,
info, and
oh my God.
I never really said it to them, but that's something that I've always thought about. It's like,
Yeah,
wonder what
it
would
is what it
happen,
is. Yeah, it is what it is,
It's
man.
what it is,
One of those never know
And
moments.
now I'm doing great at the job I got now.
Oh no. No.
No, it's fine.
No.
It's fine. Whatever,
Gonna
man.
bring that out now. Okay, we
Whatever.
can do that. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
No, 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 no. I
Okay,
mean, that's another topic that I want to talk about at some point is work and
that's
work
fair.
ethic, man. You get
That's
hired
fair.
by a job. I think we might have talked about this on this podcast at some
Yes.
point. You
Yes.
get hired by a job, doesn't matter what it is. You're getting paid by that job. You do your damnedest for that job. You
Yeah.
whole ass that job. You don't half
Yeah.
ass it. You put your whole ass in and you just do it.
The whole ass.
Yeah, you're getting paid to do the job. You do the damn job.
That's right. Ass and all.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. Would you rather be able to tap the phone of a celebrity of your choice or an acquaintance of your choice?
Wow.
Mm.
In other words, call either a celebrity of my choice or an acquaintance of my choice at any point in time.
Yeah. Well, no, tap the phone. Like, you put phone
Oh,
tap
oh,
on
oh,
it.
oh,
So
oh,
you just
like
listen in
phone
on
tap.
conversations. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd have to say it would probably be an acquaintance. Yeah.
I would do the celebrity because I could make money from it.
I can still make money from the acquaintance.
Not as much as the celebrity because celebrities got way more money and they want to keep their shit out of the tabloids. So,
That's true, but you're going to
yeah.
be that guy that rats them out to the Inquirer.
Hell yeah. I can
Oh
make some
my
money off of it.
gosh.
Man,
Oh
I'd
my
never have to work
gosh.
again.
Who's your
Hell
favorite
yeah.
actor? Who's your favorite actor?
Favorite actor?
Yeah.
Uh, Jackie
Alive.
Jackie
Alive.
Chan. Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan is your favorite character. Well, Jackie Chan, don't ever pick up the phone from Jack. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't have access to phone tapping technology, so I that doesn't matter. Uh,
Yeah. All right. Try saying that with a straight face. Okay?
100%. I'm saying with a straight face. If you could see me, you would see I have the
You're
straightest
smiling.
face.
You're
This
smiling.
I have the straightest face of all faces. Great, huge
Uh-huh.
face.
Yep. Huge
Anyway,
face. Yep. Big
um,
smile. Big
big
smile.
smile, great smiles, big beautiful smiles. Anyway, okay, so here we go. Would you rather fight the Smurf village or the full collection of Care Bears?
Full collection of Care Bears
Yeah,
over the Smurfs. Absolutely. Full
no.
collection of Care Bears. Absolutely. I hate the
Yeah, I
Care
think
Bears.
that Brainy Smurf would probably have too much stuff for you and just like be able to take you
Dude,
down.
man, Papa Smurf has got like fucking Popeye forearms, man.
Yeah,
He gonna
yeah.
knock your ass out.
The Care Bears are just stuffed animals at this point. Like you can just take
Exactly.
whatever you
Well,
want.
they do have their powers,
They have their powers.
their powers and whatnot. But
And it does say in a note, it says things to consider: Smurfberry catapults and tummy powers.
hmm
Yeah, okay. But if Gargamel can survive and he's actually trying to eat them,
that's right.
I mean, the Smurfs probably wouldn't be that bad then because of the fact
That's
that
right.
you don't die. I mean, I
Right.
guess no one's really died from the Care Bears. I mean, has anyone ever died in a Care Bears episode? I don't know.
Well, actually, in the Care Bears movie, I believe someone did die in the Care Bears
Did
movie.
they really? Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no idea.
Only reason I say that is because I think somewhere in the back of my brain that my wife mentioned it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, I beat the shit out of the Care Bears.
I'd still fight the Care Bears because
Absolutely.
they're too willing to care to,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, yeah.
Six,
I'm, you know,
six pack of whoop ass. Yep.
yeah, sure. Okay. This was a definite male question.
All right.
Would you rather live in a world where whoever denied it supplied it, or whoever smelt it
Smelt it,
dealt it?
dealt it.
Yeah,
I think I'd go with whoever smelt it, dealt it.
yeah. Well, hold on, let me think about this. Whoever denied it supplied it, or whoever
It
smelt it dealt it. I don't want
it
to smell things.
well, yeah, but you're gonna supply things anyways. So I mean, you're gonna
Uh,
look. Yours don't smell like roses, nor does mine. I don't care
true,
what anybody says.
true.
Okay,
But
but
of
there,
the two things, I'd rather not smell something to have to
yeah, but I
deal it.
think it's
That's just
implied.
weird.
I think it's implied. Whoever spied it, meaning you spied the actual fart, which means you did smell it,
Yeah,
denied it.
I
So
suppose.
yeah,
And I'm still going with whoever denied it supplied it instead of whoever smelt it dealt it because I don't want to smell
okay,
stuff. That's just me.
that's fair. That's
All
fair.
right.
Kind of weird, but okay. I love your
Yeah,
analytical
sure.
thoughts behind it, though.
Yeah, sure. This one, would you rather have a bowling alley in your house or have a device resembling a bowling alley ball returner that refills an empty mug? Could be beer, could be soda, could be whatever you want.
Wow, interesting. I mean, I would love having a bowling alley in my house, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think my body would be up for it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, it gives me just another excuse to get going and working out. We're gonna say bowling alley in the house.
Mm.
That would be freaking awesome to have a bowling alley in the house. Absolutely.
Because I don't really, I mean, I like to bowl. I've done bowling,
Yeah,
I've hosted parties of bowling for
I
different
was
work
on a
events.
bowling league for two
Yeah.
seasons
Yeah.
for
But
Hannaford.
I don't want a bowling alley in my house. I want an arcade in my house. And I can have the virtual bowling stuff, but I don't want an actual
Okay,
bowling alley. I'd
okay.
have to go with the ball returner thing that refills whatever mug.
Refills whatever mug you want. And
Yeah.
what would it be that it refills, Jay?
I don't know.
Come on.
Orange soda.
Orange soda.
Orange soda
Okay.
is my favorite thing.
Yep. That's
Yeah, sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a strange one.
Hmm.
Ice.
It refills ice.
Yeah, but it's got to be like ice from like Sonic or
Okay.
Chick-fil-A or something like that. The
Yeah,
real
yeah,
soft
yeah,
kind
yeah.
that's actual, like
The
actual
one that you
chewable
chew.
ice.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. That was one
What's it
thing I
called? The
remember too,
bullet
man.
ice thing.
Yeah, when my daughter was born, that was the one awesome thing that I
Hmm.
absolutely adored was the fact that my wife was, on the baby floor, if you will,
Hmm.
and they had that kind of like shaved ice stuff. And she was like, "Yeah, you can chew this all day long. It's not going to harm your teeth and shit." Because that's one of the
Hmm.
things I love chewing on ice. But for whatever stupid reason, regular ice will fuck up your teeth. But this kind of ice, it's like softer ice, and you're able to like chew the shit out of it. And every single day I went up there, I would come home with like 3 cups of ice
Hmm.
because I was so
All
obsessed
right.
with it. I know it's
Wow.
so retarded and
I
weird,
mean,
but
I know
whatever.
there are people that definitely, there's a whole community of people that just love to chew on ice. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
My dogs like to do the same things. Like, hey, you have something in
yep.
common with my dog. It's great for you.
Uh, thanks,
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
jerky.
Oh, jerky. Jerky.
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky.
Yeah, I had an argument with my aunt about that. Bucky's. They opened up a Bucky's on Highway 81 not too long
Yes,
ago,
right.
right?
Yes.
We had talked about it. My aunt swore to God that it was the one by Colonial Downs, and I was like, no, it's not. It's all the way on 81. I
Hmm.
said, but I'm telling you right now, I already know it's a 4 hour drive one direction, and Mitch ain't going to be driving 4 hours to one damn Bucky's just for some beef jerky. Not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bucky's though is pretty good.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful. But
I
guess what?
mean,
If I want like food from Bucky's, yeah, of course, their briskets are amazing. Their fudge is delish. Their
yeah.
breakfast burritos, even the brisket breakfast burritos are still delicious too. But their beef jerky is fucking amazing.
Hmm.
Cherry maple.
Okay.
It is the best, man. It's so good, but you got to buy it behind the counter. Don't buy it in the bag.
Yeah.
Although in the bag it still tastes good.
Yeah.
It's just not as good.
It's
Anyway.
just fun when they had the brisket on the table. Brisket on the table. Ah!
Yeah, man, they
Anyway.
sing and everything, man.
Yeah,
It's
they do
pretty
all that
crazy.
stuff.
Yep.
It's crazy in there. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a cult following almost.
yeah. Yeah. Kind of like the falling for the McRib. Uh, anyway, uh,
You just compared Bucky's to the McRib.
Sure did. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Which blues song would you rather hear? I didn't get into Harvard, but I did get into Brown, my safety school. Or Grass Stains Ain't Coming Out.
Grass stains ain't coming out.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about someone talking
Yeah, I
about
could
their
give
their
two
college
shits
shit.
about their college shit.
I
Yep.
don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Give me
grass
your
stains ain't
life.
coming out. Like, yeah, okay.
Yep.
I
Let's
mean,
talk
that's
about
more
life.
relatable. Yeah, we'll
Hmm.
talk about life. Let's talk about
Yep.
mowing the lawn, even though
That's right.
I haven't personally done it. I have someone who does it for me.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
I just
I
took care of my
mean,
yard the other day. Of course, it was like
I gotten
2 months
too lazy.
since I
I've
took
just
care of the
gotten too
yard, but
lazy. Is
that's
what it
fair.
is.
I guess.
Yeah, no, sure.
All right.
Ew, this book is disgusting. There's some crap in the middle of the book. Ew.
Oh God,
Ew.
that's
I don't know what
terrible.
that is.
Did you buy it used?
I bought it used from Amazon.
Okay,
Ew,
well,
that's gross.
yeah,
All
well,
right, that's nasty. I'm gonna have to wipe that down. Anyway,
ooh, that's gross. Ugh.
would you rather have a type of Tourette syndrome that causes you to exclaim, "Yeah, boy," every 20 minutes, or that causes you to exclaim, uh, I don't get this one, here diagonally. I don't know what that means.
Huh.
I don't get why
Here
it's here,
diagonally?
comma, diagonally. Maybe it's
Okay.
just something random to screaming. Because Tourette's doesn't necessarily make sense. Some people, they just do weird things, right? Weird ticks. It is what it is. I like the yeah boy because that's just funny.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah,
I think that's the right answer is
I think
just
that's the right
saying,
one.
yeah, boy.
Yeah, you just be the life of the party because they're like, oh, here he is. What's he gonna say? You gonna say yeah boy? Yeah, he did. No.
That's like Flavor Flav town, buddy. So,
Yeah, sure,
but
sure.
still, it's worth it. Why
Flavor
not?
Flav. No one talks about him anymore. He's
Nope, not
gone.
really.
Boy. All right.
But that's where you get it.
Hmm.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta respect.
Yeah, this book was of an age. Anyway,
Yes, it was.
would you rather have literal crow's feet around your eyes,
Okay.
or have Chuck Woolery photoshopped into all of your wedding photos?
Chuck Woolery.
I know, right? That's just so random. Chuck Woolery is like, and what? Why? All right. I mean,
Oh God.
I don't want actual crow's feet around my eyes. That
No.
sounds weird. But Chuck Woolery, that sounds like a
Yeah,
win.
Chuck Woolery. I
Sounds like
mean,
a
come
win
on,
all
man.
day. Yeah,
Absolutely, man. He's an attractive man, even through the years. Come on.
yeah.
I'd
Did,
be like, that's my father.
yeah. Did he again, we always talk about someone that's passing away. Did he pass away?
Chuck Woolery? I
Yeah.
believe so, man.
Gosh. It was like
Hang
somewhat
on.
recent, wasn't it? I think he did. I think that was
Uh,
this year, didn't it?
2024,
Oh, okay.
November 23rd, 2024. Yep.
Damn, man.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Well, yeah, rest in peace. That's a shame. Real shame.
Yep, it was, man. Love Connection, Chuck Woolery Show,
Mm.
Naturally Stoned, Joanne Flug. 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 That's what it looks like.
Joanne Blug?
Flug, maybe.
Maybe. I've heard of
PH
Plug,
or
I
PF.
guess. A plug. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Would you rather have a navel with a magic 8 ball readout in it, because your belly button has a magic 8 ball,
That's
or
awesome.
have barbecue sauce saliva? Ew.
What?
Ew.
Ow, that's kind of gross.
That sounds gross. Why would you want
Um,
that?
I mean,
Everything tastes like barbecue sauce also.
yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
barbecue sauce, but I
I
don't
love
want
barbecue
everything
sauce too, but does it come
to
with the
taste like
acid
barbecue sauce.
reflux? I mean, what kind of
Yeah,
barbecue sauce we
yeah,
talking? You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And
Shoot.
also, can it be sugar free? Because that's going to instantly give you diabetes.
Somebody's diabetic over here. Yep.
Yeah, I'm already
Yep.
dealing with the diabetes. Like, no, I don't need that. Also, so for me, it's an instant no on the barbecue sauce. I'd have to go with the
Aw.
what was that other one? I don't remember. What did I say? I don't remember now. Oh, the magic. Yeah, I guess the
Yes,
magic eight
magic
ball
eight ball.
readout on
Yep.
your belly button. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Why not? Why not, bro? Why not?
Why not? No, no. I,
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know if I could do that magic eight ball thing on my belly button all the time because then people would think it's like a party gag or something, you know?
Yeah.
So
But barbecue sauce saliva?
I know
That's
that
what you
sounds so
want
disgusting.
otherwise?
I
I
don't
can't
know,
do that.
man. I
I
can't
can't
do
do
it.
that.
I can't
The
do it.
belly, I'd go with the belly button thing. That's whatever.
I'm gonna have to go with the belly button too, man, because as
Yeah.
much as I love barbecue sauce, let me tell you, if my saliva
Yeah.
tasted like barbecue sauce, guess what I would no longer want?
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah. A1. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
Okay. All right. This one I think is easy because One of these is going to kill you. So, would you rather use a power drill as a Q-tip or get a
Oof.
lower back tattoo with lemon juice? You'll
A
survive
lower
the lemon
back
juice. The power drill, I think, is because Q-tips you're not
You're
supposed to put in
talking
your ear
dead, man.
anyway.
You're
You're gonna
talking
die.
dead.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, you're talking death.
Yeah,
No, I mean, no. I'm gonna have to go with the lemon juice tattoo.
yeah, lemon juice. It's gonna
Yeah,
sting and be really,
yeah,
really sucky, but you'll live.
yeah,
Whereas again,
absolutely.
a power
Now,
drill, you have to be really careful with a power drill, and you just can't.
right.
It's not that precise. You're gonna
No,
die.
exactly. You will
So
die.
that's
Absolutely.
an easy one.
So, all right, well, let's take it a step further. What kind of tattoo would it be?
Um, hmm,
Hmm.
hmm.
You haven't thought
Uh,
about it, have you? You've never thought about getting a tattoo then?
the whole it would be Keenan and Kel. No.
Keenan and Kel?
Keenan and Kel from the old '90s TV show from Nickelodeon.
Really?
Yeah, no,
That's what
I
you
don't
would get a
know.
tattoo of? Seriously? Oh,
No,
come
I
on.
have no idea.
Because, guys, you've never thought about what you would want
No,
as a
because
tattoo.
I've never been interested in having a
Never
tattoo.
had the interest. Okay, that's fair.
No,
That's fair.
honestly.
Okay, that's fair.
If I had to think of something, I don't know.
I mean, I know what I would want. I've
What would
thought
you
about
want?
this.
What would you
Oh,
want?
I want the like a 3D image of the Star of David with
Oh, okay.
with thorns, like rose thorns
Oh,
intertwined through the holes of the star.
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I've never genuinely never thought about that kind of question. So,
Yep.
hmm. um, it had to be something related to the stuff I'm interested in, I guess. Because yeah, as
It's
you
all
know,
good.
I like musicals. I like theater.
Sure.
I like Disney, even though we know Disney has got
A
issues.
fascist regime bent on war
Yes, yes,
domination
yes,
through the
yes, yes,
cultivation of
yes,
young
yes,
children's
yes, yes.
minds.
Right. Anyway,
You didn't give me a chance to say it.
no, no,
It's a it's a
because
fascist.
no,
It's a
because it. Look, man, all I know is it sucks to suck. Okay, it sucks. All right. Hey, I knew. I told you I was going to murk it in
Yep, it
somewhere.
could have
There
made
it
it
is.
somewhere. Yep, it
It had.
sucks to suck.
It sucks to suck.
Yep, yep. And that's
Uh,
Disney. It just Disney sucks
yeah.
to suck.
Disney sucks to suck. Hey, while we're on that subject, go ahead and regale us with that inside joke. That's an inside joke between me and Mitch. But actually, mainly Mitch's, and I just love it. I just love the story. Tell us.
All right, so sucks to suck. So last year we were at Disney. We were at the Marriott World Resort Hotel, which is just across the street from Disney, like one of the major highways or whatever it is. Anyway, we're inside this hotel and we had to get our card to our room redone because it wouldn't allow us in the room. Luckily, my dad had a key on his phone, so he was able to open up both doors or whatever it was, which is fine. But we had to go get a new key. Anyway, for whatever crazy reason, they really didn't define the areas you're supposed to stand and wait in line for. But they have, what is it, the Bonvoy, which is their upscale or up package, their
Hmm.
program, right? They have their Bonvoy people, and there's a line for Bonvoy, but yet there's this other line that doesn't say anything that just like a serpentine entrance, and there's nobody down there where that serpentine entrance is. But yet, when I first got there, that's where my dad went and accessed whatever he needed to get a room. So I stood there to get my key. Well, I made my son stand there to get the key because we were also picking up oh God, we were getting something delivered, whatever, some water or whatever delivered from Grubhub or whatever it was. And I was outside. Well, I've come back inside and he's still standing there and he looked at me and said, I don't care what the fuck happens. The next person that walks away from that counter, I'm just going to walk right the fuck up. He said, because I've been standing here for over 20 minutes. And I said, son, do you see that line over there? We're not getting over here, through anytime soon. He says, oh, yeah, watch. And sure as shit, as soon as the next person walked away from that front counter, my son walked right up. Oh my God, did it cause a stir? It caused a major freaking stir. This lady started to complain. This guy started to complain. And I turned around and I said, look, I said, I'm just here to get my key fixed. Y'all still have to check in. I said, gives me 60 seconds of my time. I'm sorry to waste 60 seconds of your life. And turn back around and they start berating me and whatever it is. And my son got the key fixed. We start walking away and the guy's still running off of the mouth. And he's like, yeah, well, you're still in line. I got my key fixed. sucks to suck,
Boom.
and keeps on going. I was like, holy crap! I've never been more proud of my son, at the same time more embarrassed of my son, because he stood up for himself, which was great. But at the same time, the way he went about it, I was like, wow, it was, to me, it was very grandiose in some ways. But at the same time, I'm never been prouder of him when he
I
did that.
admire that kind of attitude because of the fact
Hmm.
that you know what you're going to see these people maybe a little bit when
Yeah,
they show up around the hotel, but
right.
at the same time, you
Yeah,
don't care about
we
these
don't know.
people. You're not
Yeah,
going to see
we
them
don't
again
know these
after
people.
this.
Exactly. We
Yeah,
don't know who you are.
I wish I had that kind of attitude. I don't.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. It was
It's
truly
amazing,
amazing. Yep.
and
But
that's
since
why I
then,
say,
it's just been it's one of those things where it really opened up my eyes to the fact of, you know what? Yeah, you've got to kind of take, the bull by the horns in some cases and just
yeah.
say fuck it. So, you know, but
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And it's great. Again, yeah, it's great and bad because again,
Yeah.
you're the parent. You're not supposed to support that sort of thing. But you know, great for him speaking his mind. I don't know.
I mean, I was just like, I mean, this guy looked at me. My son said it sucks to suck. I just turned around, looked at the guy, and I said, "Kids,
Kids, what you gonna do? Huh?
yeah." I just left it alone. I mean, he was pissed, but whatever. And you know what? I never saw them again.
Yeah,
Never saw him again. So, but
yeah.
I knew enough to where, like, oh, there was a volleyball tournament, or no, was it a volleyball tournament? It's like a volleyball tournament or something like that that was just coming into town, and it
Mm-hmm.
being a big hoopla, big to do shit. And I was like,
Hoopla!
what the fuck ever, man. I didn't care. I didn't give a shit. Anyway,
Yeah,
that was my sucks to suck.
fantastic, fantastic.
Absolutely, it
Sucks to
was.
suck. Everybody use hashtag suck to suck. Make sure you just flood the comments with that if you can.
There you
Thanks.
go.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Love it.
No one's interacted with our stuff yet. I don't know. It
Oh,
is what it is.
sad face.
Hey, people, if you're interested in interacting with our stuff, you can. You can find us at our Podbean website
Yep.
um,
And Facebook.
and Facebook. It's Lumpia and Lotkeys.
Yep.
Look us up,
Lumpia
and
Luckies.
we're everywhere on all the streaming apps. You know, pretty
That's
much
it.
everything. All right, we got time for one more, maybe. Okay.
Sure, let's do it, brother.
Yeah, this one. I don't know. All right. Would you rather die by car accident or via purple nurple?
Oh my.
Hmm.
Um, ew.
Yeah,
I think purple nurple. Yeah.
purple nurple.
Yeah, but I would rather be dead by death by purple nurple. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because at least I know, boom, that's it, you're done. Whereas a car accident, yeah, I've seen some car accidents before, man. I'm sorry, I don't want to die by car accident.
that's
Unless it's
true.
instantaneous, I don't want to die by car accident.
Yeah.
Purple nipple, I'm pretty sure it's going to be
How
instantaneous.
do you die by purple nurple though? How are we
I
doing
don't
it?
know. I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure.
You're
You
not
just
exactly
do
sure
it.
how someone
You
can
do.
die of a
You,
purple nurple?
I mean, you keep twisting until like you rip off the flesh and they bleed to death. Is what are we talking? Is
Right.
that what it is? Because I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, who has that much energy and that much force that they can keep going? Are we using tools? Is that what we're talking about? Either way, it sounds horrifying and just excruciating.
Well, again, you just, it's around the nipple. So, you
Yeah.
rip the nipple off and then you die. Hey, all right, cool. Kind of
Hmm.
strange.
Yeah.
Defies modern medicine, but hey,
Exactly.
whatever.
Maybe you rip so hard that you also somehow pull out a part of the heart, and then that breaks off, and then I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
That's kind of weird.
Um,
That
I have
just
no
went
idea.
dark. That went
Hey,
dark
man,
very quickly.
it's a dark question at the end. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. But it was being jovial with a purple nurple.
Yeah, but it's still talking about dying by purple
That's
purple,
true.
which
That's
is
true.
always going
That's
to be.
true. That's true.
Yeah, I still, yeah, I'm still going with the purple purple because
Yeah.
yeah, some of those you only have to look so far. I mean, we've all seen car crashes.
Yep.
We've seen effects of car crashes, and
Yep.
it's really shitty. Hey, people, don't drink and drive. Okay, do not drink and drive,
That's right.
and also don't text and drive.
Nope.
Don't do all that stuff.
That's
Just
right.
focus on driving. We just had the conversation about driving and driving etiquette on the last episode. Please pay attention when you drive.
Yep. I just had to watch a video today about driving.
Hmm.
for
Oh, right,
Element,
for
for
yeah.
Element. Yep, for the job for
Oh, the
Element.
Element, the one that's doing
Hmm.
your stuff. You don't
Yeah,
have
Element's the one that's doing ours. Yep, not
okay.
Holman anymore.
No Holman. Okay.
No,
I
no
thought
Holman.
okay, so Element didn't go out.
No,
They just
no.
don't support our company. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, Element didn't go
Gotcha.
out. It used to be the Element used to be GE, and then
Oh,
they also acquired PHH. But I guess you didn't know that.
nope. No idea. No
Yeah, I'm
idea.
old school, man. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
been on
Yeah,
the road long.
back in my day. Yeah, sure.
No problem, Shenny.
Old man Mitch talking about the old days.
Dude, man,
Talking
I've been
about
doing it
when
for
gas was $2 a gallon.
dude. I can remember when gas was $1 a gallon.
Yeah, when
Honestly,
gas was cheaper than milk.
when I
Yeah.
was a kid, when I first started driving, gas was probably about just under a buck. Like if
Oof.
you could find 90 cents, 89 cents, 87 cents somewhere, you were doing
Jesus.
good. You were doing good, man. You were having a
Christ
good day.
almighty.
But
Hmm.
then within a year or so, it just shot up to like just over a buck. It's
Hmm.
only gotten worse in the last like 10 years.
Yep. It's only gotten worse and it'll continue to get worse.
Hmm.
Is
Yep.
what it is. Well, that's why we're trying to get away from our dependence on foreign oil and go towards the electric cars, I guess. Right? I
I
don't
guess,
know.
but they don't have an infrastructure to support it, man.
No, there is
There's
not.
no
No, there
infrastructure
is
to
not.
support it. So,
Yep.
and here's the other kicker too. I
Yep.
don't want to get an electric vehicle that I'm gonna be able to only get 300 miles on a full charge, if you will, and
Right.
I've got to pay X amount of dollars for 500 miles for a certain charge, and then at that point, even then, the 500-mile charge is going to be probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe, depending on how it goes.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, to me, I want 1,000. I want to be able to get 1,000 miles on a full charge. If I get 1,000 miles on a full charge right
Yep.
now, and it be a more economical vehicle type thing,
Yeah.
you've got me sold. I'll do what I got to do, even with not having a freaking garage. I'll do what
Yep.
I got to do in order to take care of that. The only problem is 1,000 miles on a vehicle charge is going to take probably an hour.
Yep, that's the part that really, I mean, among other things, but that's the part that really gets me is that you see these people go up to these superchargers and
Hmm.
they park there and that to sit in their vehicle and wait, or they park there and like hopefully they'll go to like a grocery store and like shop around
Yep,
and come back and
maybe.
their vehicle's done. Because I've
Yep,
seen that too. But at the
yep.
same time, it's like until we can get to the point that charging your vehicle is as efficient as just filling it up with gas, there's a lot of
Hydrogen cells will be the next thing then. That's
yeah.
really what would be H2 cells or whatever it
Yeah.
is, hydrogen. Um, yeah, that's the next big thing.
Yeah. Well, you remember those whole stories? I mean, it's conspiracy stories. I mean, people have gotten allegedly have gotten engines working on just plain
Porn.
water. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, and plain water, absolutely.
what did you say?
Yeah,
Did you say
a
porn? Did
water
you say porn?
porn.
Porn.
CORN. They
Oh,
turned it
okay.
into ethanol and turned it into alcohol and turned it into a
Yeah, sure.
gasoline, and we're
Okay.
able to use it as a means of as means
Yeah,
of
but those but those people that had made the water-based engines just
yes. Oh
go
yeah, that
missing.
was invented
They
back in the
just
60s,
they
dude.
just go missing. The people who've
Uh,
gotten it done though, they just go
no,
missing.
no. The
Mhm.
patent for that is currently owned by one of the major motor companies
No, there have been
or oil
other
companies.
people. I mean, I we'll have to bring that up in
Yeah,
another
episode.
episode because
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff that's just like, huh, these people just go missing.
Yep.
Big oil. What
Yep.
are you gonna do, man?
That's it.
Anyway, that's about all the time we got for this segment because we're
Yeah.
running out.
Yep.
When we come back, it will be what is it?
This you call
This we call
news?
news. Yep, that's right. I'll never remember.
Yeah, it's
That's the
okay.
running joke, is what it is. Sucks to suck. Anyway, we'll be right back. Bye bye. And now it's time for this you call news. And with our special report, here is Mitch. Mitch.
Thank you, Jay. This coming out of Amsterdam. A popular confectionery company has pulled bags of gummies due to potential cannabis contamination. According to the New York Post, Haribo has pulled its Happy Cola Fizz gummies from the shelves after multiple members of a Dutch family reported dizziness after consuming the soda bottle-shaped snacks. After learning the gummies had been potentially tainted with cannabis, yep, that's right, THC, Haribo issued a nationwide recall across the European country, the publication reported. The Netherlands Food and Consumer Product Safety Authority, the NVWA, told Dutch news outlet Hart van Nederland that samples were taken and cannabis was found in them. Do not eat the sweets. Haribo confirmed that it is working alongside authorities to investigate the contamination, adding that it appears only a single batch in the Netherlands was tainted and none in any other country per the Post. As a precaution, Haribo made the decision to pull all bags with a best before date of January 2026 in the Netherlands. According to the publication, the company will also issue refunds to all customers who purchase bags affected by the recall. The safety of our consumers is our highest priority, and Haribo takes this incident very seriously, which is why a recall has been issued in the Netherlands, Haribo said in a statement obtained by the Post. So, someone infiltrated. Let's think about this. Somebody infiltrated this sucker
Yeah.
and put some THC in a batch. Now,
Right.
I didn't get a chance to look, but how big of a batch is a batch? You know what I mean?
Good question. Yeah.
You
But
know,
a
I mean,
single batch.
the
Yeah.
wife was asking me this question as well because she was the one that found this article literally just hours before we were getting on to do our
Yeah.
podcast, and I was like, "Oh, you've got to send me this. This is just freaking hilarious."
Mm.
I find it hilarious myself because you've got a large company like Haribo, and
Yeah.
they've got someone that literally just basically dropped liquid THC more than likely into a batch of your mixture for your Happy Cola Fizz. And now all of a sudden, it's an entire batch. So again, I wonder what an entire batch is. I told her I thought it was a pallet.
Yeah. It's hard
That's
to
one whole
say. I
batch.
mean, a
I don't know.
batch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just say how. I guess. I mean, a batch like what? That's so generic. It's like that makes sense for whoever works in the company. They know what a batch is. But like, why
Yeah.
would you just tell us how many? Like, why would you just say it? If you know it's a single batch, why don't you say how big that batch could be so people
Right.
can know exactly how much they really should be worried about. I mean, they said
Right.
everything before January 2026 in the Netherlands, so it's only in that one country, which is good, I guess. But still, like that's just man.
So according to Haribo's website, they make 160 million
Mm,
gummies every single day.
okay.
It doesn't say how many of the particulars were for the Cola Fizz. Okay,
Mm,
so honestly, like I said, that's why I figured it's one pallet. They probably make one batch a day, I guess, or something. I don't know.
yeah, I
I
guess
really
so.
couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Yeah, I
But
wish we knew how big a batch was.
I know, right? I told her it's probably a whole pallet full. And a
Yeah.
pallet, they probably a pallet is probably regular pallet size, which I think pallets are what 4x5 or four
How
by
many
four.
bags? How many bags is
Six.
that of like individual I don't know, like how big is a normal bag of
Right. I mean, if
Haribo?
you get a case, I mean, I think there's like 12 in a case for
Hmm.
their usual bag. Then, the ones that you have like the peg hook ones, it's usually like 12 in a box. And inside of that 12, inside one bag, there's, I don't know, however many that's in there,
Hmm.
but still one Dutch family. That's it.
Yeah.
Just one Dutch family said, "Oh, geez, they made us feel dizzy." And they call Haribo and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, can we see that? Oh,
How much you want to bet it
shit."
had nothing to do with Haribo, and it's just that Dutch family, one of those guys was a stoner, and said like, "Oh man, these made me feel bad," because they found out he was taking the gummies. It's like now you
No.
ruined the whole thing.
They've already learned that it was done. So
Yeah,
clearly this was an inside job. Somebody had to.
yeah,
My guess is someone poured liquid THC into the batch
that is just
and let it
awful.
go
That
at
is
whatever time.
awful. I mean, could we have this conversation before? Like, look at the other story about the lady who bought the Jello shots, right? And that was
Yeah, the
going to
Jello
kids.
shots.
So
Yeah,
these
man.
Happy Cola Fizz are clearly going to children as well, and you're going to
Yeah,
put that in some children's. That's wrong. That's
I
just in and of
agree.
itself, it's just wrong.
I agree. I
It's
think it's
funny,
wrong. It's
but it's
funny, but
wrong.
it's wrong.
Yeah. Oh man,
I
that's
mean,
a
dude,
shame. Mm,
balls goes whoever did that, man, they got some balls. That's all I got to say.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure they're going to wind up getting caught. But hey, we'll see what turns out from this one. So
yeah,
stay tuned, folks. If we got any updates, we'll definitely
yeah,
let you know about it. But
yeah.
that's it for this article. Jay, what do you have for yours, my good man?
Well, sir, I have one that comes to us from our good friends at Unilad. Truth behind $400 million American bridge that's left people mesmerized after vanishing into water. So, a U.S. bridge which sees vehicles seemingly vanish into thin air has left social media users dumbfounded. We see all sorts of random videos whenever we open up our phones, from dancing pets to stunning biological simulations. We never know what we're going to get. But seeing a bunch of cars appear to drive into the ocean and disappear? That was not on my bingo card. One viral video showing exactly that has been doing the rounds on X, formerly Twitter, recently. Racking up millions of views, the video gives an aerial view of cars driving down a bridge in the middle of a body of water before they vanish into seemingly thin air. But what exactly is it? No, the unusual video isn't the work of AI. Instead, it's actually the Monitor Merrimack Memorial Bridge Tunnel, or the MMMBT for short. Located in Hampton Roads, Virginia, the 4.6-mile, 7.4-kilometer structure connects the cities of Newport News and Suffolk while impressively crossing three major rivers: the James, never know how to say that, Nansemond, uh,
Nansmond.
yeah, Nansemond, and
Yep.
Elizabeth. The entire structure includes 3.2 miles of twin trestle, two side-by-side elevated roadways, two artificial islands, and a tunnel which on its own is 4,800 feet or 1,500 miles long. No, sadly, the vehicles aren't disappearing into some kind of magical portal or into the depths of the sea. They're heading into an underwater tunnel, creating a pretty cool optical illusion. The MMMBT was erected 33 years ago in April 1992 and cost around $400 million to build. It's named after the USS Monitor and CSS Virginia, formerly Merrimack, the first ironclad warships to face off in battle. The Battle of Hampton Roads from March 8th to 9th, 1862, took place within a mile of the bridge tunnel. The MMBT has helped a number of issues, including traffic congestion and national security. Its tunnel section allows large naval and commercial ships to pass overhead without obstruction, a crucial aspect when building a bridge on one of the busiest shipping lanes on the U.S. East Coast. And it goes on and on. There's a lot of stuff to this, so I'm just going to cut to the chase here. Um, Plenty of social media users were amazed by the video, with others asking people to explain what it was showing. Others, however, knew what it was right away. Responding to the video, one person wrote, "That is a tunnel. Welcome to your first day of elementary school." As a second piped up, "That's called a tunnel, my friend. Open the schools," the third quipped. Others were left in awe by the structures. One person penned, "Appreciate engineers." So they're talking about something that we drive all the freaking time, and I don't know
Oh
why people
God.
are amazed. I'm pulling up the actual um
The Twitter
the
account?
post on Twitter, the X,
Okay.
and they're at yeah. There's a video, and it's showing from an airplane the Monitor Merrimack Bridge,
And
and
I saw the video myself,
right,
and I'm just looking at it. I'm going, guys, it's just the tunnel. What's
it
the
goes
big
underneath the
freaking
water.
deal?
I don't
It
know what the
goes
big
under the
deal
water.
is.
As a matter of fact, if they wanted to pay close enough attention and they look
You can see
further
where it
down
ends
into
it
the
out.
ocean, you can see where it exits out. Not only that, but there's a whole nother tunnel not too far from there called the
Yeah,
Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel.
right.
Hello.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the responses on here are just funny. "This being a post on the internet is truly incredible. It's a fucking tunnel, you dipshits. Bro, it's a tunnel. Are you like blind?" And Grok is retarded, by the way. They're talking about Grok, which is there's like a big old uh AI
Right, right,
like thing about this where they talked about it.
right.
Someone said it was a tunnel in China. I don't. There's just a lot of weird stuff. The internet is just
Full
freaking
of strange shit,
ridiculous.
man.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people are realizing like I don't know. I guess at some point
That's the
people were
entrance
being
to the
stupid.
teleportation chamber.
Yeah,
Once you get in, you're teleported to the other
yeah,
side.
right. This one's stupid. It says I live there and there's no good explanation. I fucking hate that tunnel. Well, that's true. Everybody hates the tunnel.
Oh
It
my
goes under
God.
the fucking ocean. It's awful. But that part's stupid. It goes under the ocean. It's awful. Why? You drive through it. You get out on the other side. Who cares? Like, why are you so upset about a tunnel other than the traffic? The traffic
I
on a tunnel
know.
is shit.
Yeah, the
But
traffic sucks. Yep.
the fact that it's a tunnel, I like this one. That's a tunnel. It's just Drake showing
Yeah.
Kai how to get into the
Oh,
laptop.
okay.
Like, oh
Got it.
wow! Here's the Grok one, right? This is what Grok
Right.
says. Their AI. The X post features a video of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel. So it's saying the Chesapeake Bay
Yeah.
Bridge.
Yeah. That's not Chesapeake Bay
Right,
Bridge Tunnel. Yeah.
right. So it's kind of stupid, but it goes
Yeah.
on and on. Says the construction of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel was a
Right.
major project that involved innovative engineering solutions. Blah blah blah. It's
Oh,
like a
it is. It's one of the
long.
modern Marvel
It's
things in my
interesting.
book. I mean, it's well, it was probably one of the longest
Yeah.
uh uh building structure man-made structures that they built
Yeah.
because they literally built islands out there so
Right.
they could have the tunnels, a place for the tunnels to go. I mean,
Right.
it was amazing what they did.
Yep. And here's
So
the
yeah.
one that's really stupid. This guy's Joe Hoft. It says real Joe Hoft. Sorry, Joe Hoft. Not gonna call you out, but I guess I am calling you out. Yes, that is the bridge between Hong Kong and
Macau.
Macau that goes under the water at certain points. What? You see everybody else is saying
Oh
it's
my
in
God.
Virginia. Why are you
Yep.
saying there's a compactor on that end that crosses all the cars that
Wow.
go in, and then the parts are sent via a tube to land and reassembled? I mean, you just gotta. This is one article that if you've ever looked for one of our articles on
Oh my
our
God.
Facebook page, this is one you gotta look at and then look at the comments on
Yeah,
this
it's
Twitter.
just
It's just
amazing. Some of
ridiculous.
these people, they're
Some
idiots.
of these people, they allowed them to drive, they allowed them to vote, and it's just
They
really
allowed him to get on a
stupid.
plane.
Yeah, they allowed them to breathe. It's like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah,
See,
I
here's
know.
one I
I
got
don't
right.
either.
This is the Monitor Merrimack Bridge Tunnel in Newport News, Virginia. See that one?
That's
Got it
right.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, ridiculous. Oh
I
man.
mean, dude, it's it is what it is, man. But just shoot, I've been through that. Look, I'd rather go through the M&M than the HRBT any day of the week.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look, for years, and I mean years, every time I had to go across there, I avoided the HRBT like it was the plague. I just went ahead and just took the M&M. I didn't care if I
Mm,
was all the way by the HRBT. I would drive around it just to go to the M&M, and
mm,
I always found that it was smoother and safer, and not safer, but I always found it was smoother travels, if you will.
hmm
So that's just
So,
my 2 cents. But good Lord,
so
people are
then
just dumb.
I'm just wondering what they would say about the Jordan Bridge because that's like they're
Ugh,
freaking out
it's
about
just a
this. They're like,
bridge,
look
man.
at the Jordan Bridge; it's so huge. That's
Yep.
not right. It shouldn't be that big.
I
Well,
know,
that's that
right?
way the ships can go underneath it.
God forbid the bridge went up. Oh my God,
All right,
the bridge is
ridiculous. These
splitting in half.
people are just stupid, and the fact that this is again another article that deserves well, the other one's really that one about the Haribo thing is really just that's bad. But this one about the it's a freaking tunnel. Like I don't get it. Why make it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why
It's a tunnel. It's just that tunnel,
it's a
people.
tunnel?
I mean, I guess this person that did this never actually saw a tunnel before and
I
didn't
mean,
realize what it was. I
maybe
mean,
under the water, maybe that's the part that confuses them. Because if you're in a landlocked part of America, which people are, I mean,
yep,
I guess you wouldn't see this. To
that's
us,
true.
it's commonplace because again,
We live here.
we live here, we're on the coast, we know.
Yep.
But for people that are, in a landlocked part of America, you wouldn't know. So I guess that
Yeah.
is something you can take away from this. Like, not a, different experiences. Everybody has different life
Yeah,
experiences.
absolutely. Everybody's got their
There's
own different
that.
life experience. So, I mean, hey, that's fine. But I mean,
Yeah,
I grew up around it. It didn't bother me a bit. It's just a tunnel. You
yeah,
just, you go through it and you survive. And
yeah.
uh,
The
so
hell is this
far,
one?
it's not that bad.
The hell is this one? Why did they build all this if the sea level is rising? Hashtag climate crisis. Hashtag scam. What? What's wrong with people? Oh God.
Um,
Anyway,
this was built a long time ago before they had to worry about climate
yeah,
change.
yeah. Oh man, I'm just looking through more of these comments. I mean,
Yep.
people certainly this went viral for some reason.
Yeah, it
I don't
did.
really
I
get
can
it,
see where
but
it's gone. I mean,
at
so
least a
many
lot of
people are
people are
commenting
like,
about it.
at least a lot of people are just straight up saying like it's a tunnel. DD
Yep.
explanation. It's a
Exactly.
freaking
The
tunnel.
majority of the people know that it's a freaking tunnel. So
Yeah.
that's great. For the others
Hmm.
that don't know that it's not a tunnel, well,
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
Yep. What's this one? Lake Catheter. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, that's all we got. That's it for this episode. It's
It's
been a very interesting one.
it's been a great one.
Yeah. We've gotten to security things. We've
That's
gotten
right.
through the Would You Rathers with the book that was dirty.
Keep your shit safe
Yeah, that's right.
and clean your shit, Jay,
Yeah,
apparently.
apparently, yeah. I need to throw that book out and buy a new one because that's disgusting.
Buy new,
Um,
not used. Or if you want, buy another one used
I'm
again. You
gonna buy
might get
another
it.
one used. Maybe it'll be better.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a condom in it. I don't
And
know.
well, well,
Uh,
hang on a minute though. How much did you pay for this one?
this one was around $9.
And how much is it retail?
Retail is I can look that up. Let's see,
Yeah.
1076.
You
New
paid
allegedly,
1076?
yeah, new allegedly is 1476. $4 more.
Okay, yeah, dude. Just go ahead and buy a new
Yeah, I'll
one.
buy a new one. Hey man, I wanted to save some money, but apparently not. No, not
Yeah, well,
yes.
what did we
Oh,
learn?
we learned that people are disgusting with their books. That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't even want to ask what's
Yeah, I don't
inside that
know.
those pages,
I
okay?
don't know. It looked like a crushed bug or something. Ew,
Okay, I was gonna say take a
gross.
cotton swab or something. I don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna throw it out. Yeah,
CSI that
honestly.
bitch.
Honestly, I'm just gonna throw it out. Hopefully, they didn't bring anything to the house because it's gross.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. Burn it.
Anyway, yeah.
Burn it.
Okay. Well, anyway, as always, my name is Jay.
And I'm Mitch.
Yep, and we'll see you all again next time on Lumpia and Latkey. Same bat time. Same. No, we can't do that. That's copyrighted. Nope.
Yep, we
Same.
can't do that.
Same Mitch time. Same J channel.
There you
There
go.
you
That
go.
works. See
No, it
y'all later.
doesn't. No, it doesn't. All right. Bye
No, doesn't work.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you should or would like to contact us, please find us at our Facebook page, Lumpia and Latkes. We will be glad to hear from you.